Well, good morning. Part five. I wanted to, share some tricks and things in my last video, of course, but I never got a chance to on what's going on with Ghana and Nigeria and some of the technology that's going on over there. If you remember in my previous videos, I explained that pretty much what's happening here is they get on the internet and they pretend to be someone that they're not, and they don't want to do video verification, and they especially don't want to call you on the phone. And even if they do, and it's a person, they're going to have a Nigerian accent, and they're going to pretend to be from somewhere else so they can get away with their lies and hope that you fall for it, and they get you to believe that somehow they are from the United States or living here. But it's a lie, it's a trick. And here's the thing about that. So they'll manipulate the situation to get something out of you because that's what they want. They want something out of you, which is money. And they'll do anything to deceive you and to lie to you to get you to believe in things. One of the things that they do, one of the tricks that I have discovered is they will pretend to start a relationship with you right away. They'll even go to the point where they're saying they're doing online dating. In other words, you're dating this person right now, at this moment, at this time, just for texting them on the internet. It's crazy. That's not a date. You can't be dating somebody like that. That's impossible. Back in the day when I was young, of course, I'm not so young anymore, but back in the day, when we wanted to date somebody, we would exchange phone numbers, of course, and we wouldn't take these long, drawn out conversations over the phone before we decided, hey, we want to go on a date, right? But a lot of these dating sites are under the opinion, and they're under the opinion that somehow by texting back and forth online, you're actually dating somebody. I don't know where that came from. I don't even know who started that. But it's being generated by these dating sites, apparently, to make people believe that this is actual dating. Okay? So a person lives in another state. Let's say you live in Nevada and they live in New York, right? Well, you can't date each other locally. It's impossible, right? So people want distance. They do. They need it. They need that distance because they don't want to date. They don't want to go out on a date with you because then you would get to know who they really are. I mean, really, behavioral wise, habits, that kind of thing. And it's the same thing with the scammers. A scammer wants that distance because one of the things they want is that meetup money. Now, I mentioned that before, and you're probably wondering, what the heck is that, right? Well, if someone lives a distance away from you, then somebody has to pay for that flight, right? Somebody. You're going to have to bridge the gap somewhere down the line that you're going to want to meet up with that person. They expect that, by the way. They expect the relationship to go to that point. So they trick you and manipulate your mind to make you think that somehow you're going to meet up with this person at some point, sometime in your life, right? So they're very patient. They'll wait months. They don't care. country that's oppressing them. I get it. You know, the only way that they're going to make money is online, right? Deceive somebody and get some money. Because if they were straightforward, hey, I'm from Ghana, that relationship's over right away. There is not going to be any texting going on. But you see my point. My point is that it's to trick you, to manipulate you, to make you believe something isn't true so that they can get something out of you at a later time. That's just one trick. Okay? The second trick that I'm going to talk about is what I brought up earlier in my other videos, is specifically they create this idea that somehow you're going to have some sort of phone call from them. However, they use the voice of this one person that somehow they got over the internet. Hello, I can't hear you. Hello? It's a trick. It's a recording. And they use this a lot, I noticed. The same voice, the same person saying this. And they're making it seem like they can't make this phone call to you. They tried, right? It's a lie. They didn't do anything. They used a recorded voice that made it seem like this voice was theirs. And they tried to make a phone call to you. So that's the second trick. Don't go for it. It's not true. The third trick, and they use this one a lot, to try to manipulate people, to try to get people to believe in something. It is not true, okay? And this is the trick. They'll say, yeah, we'll do a video verification. We'll go to this app over here, right? They take you to that app. But here's the thing. They want you to receive a phone call from them. Well, here's the thing. Their AI program does not operate or work unless they're already hooked up to their system. So they have to make the phone call to you. You can't make a phone call to them and say, accept my video call. You have to get the phone call from them because they have to set up their AI program to be delivered to you. They can't do it any other way. So what happens here is you get this video, right? It looks real. It does. And one of these days I'll show you what I'm talking about, just how real it looks. But it's not. And you're being manipulated, you're being deceived into believing that something isn't true about this whole situation. And then they'll say, well, we really couldn't have a conversation here, but you saw me in the video, right? And this is me. But there's no conversation. Or, even if there is, it's kind of weird the way the video looks. You know, I mean, there's the interaction and stuff like that. They pulled all this on me. And I couldn't believe the technology they had. It was unbelievable what Ghana and Nigeria really have over there. I was surprised. Especially as a dirt poor country that they live in. But I began to discover all this because I didn't know. I had no idea. And I began to learn this is really terrible. And it's infiltrated throughout all these dating sites, big time. Okay, all these Nigerians and people from Ghana. There are people from India and of course Cuba, like I said earlier. But they're few and far between. They're not very many, all right? And they'll use any profile, these Ghana and Nigerians. They don't care. They don't care if it's an ugly person or a cute person. They don't care. Get that out of your head, that just because you see a certain look doesn't mean that it's real. They don't care what the profile is. They'll use anything just to deceive somebody, to make them believe something that isn't true. Oh yeah, I discovered that a long time ago. It doesn't matter how cute, how ugly, it doesn't matter to them at all. They don't care. As long as it makes them money, they're satisfied. There's a couple websites that I didn't have a chance to go over with you, and you need to know about them. You know, Google talks about, you know, High Zone. Oh my gosh. And all these beautiful women that you can text there. Oh yeah, this is one of their advertisements on Google. Big time. They really, really want to push this app. It's a joke. Because what essentially happens is you go onto that website, you think that you're paying for a VIP package, and you text somebody for a period of time, and then lo and behold, this text comes to you and says you have to purchase some more stuff in order to have their VIP package. Then you text a little longer. And then you find out that there's another attachment that you didn't know about, and it's called credits to text. Pretty soon you're out of $60, spending more money trying to get a hold of somebody, right? Yeah, that's a scam. High Zone is a scam internet site. Do not use it. I'm telling you that right now. I am not lying. There's some other ones. I don't even see them listed under Google Play Store anymore. It's kind of weird. It's like they disbanded their website. But there are so many of them. And one of these times I'm going to sit down with you and I'm going to show you what manipulation is all about, man. Why these apps are manipulative. And you need to know the dangers that you're getting yourself into. You need to know before you spend money there that you're not going to find what you're looking for the way you think. Because it's a trick. And whoever owns those websites, I have no idea. They could be people from Ghana, from Nigeria, for all I know. I mean, hell, I don't know. Could be from some other country like China or Japan. But those websites, you can't get a hold of the support team like you want to. And you can't report a lot of stuff. And here's a lot of things that's going on with those websites is they're not, really adequate to be able to sustain all of those complaints and be able to get back to you concerning those complaints. It's pretty much what time it is. So, on my next video, I'm going to explain a lot more to you. You need to know this stuff. You really do. This stuff is unbelievable, what I'm going to share with you.